John, this is the most nerve-wracking part of the show for me. It's when you give us the John Markley quiz. I'm always worried that I'm going to get something wrong, but it always turns out okay in the end. So I'm curious, what questions do you have for us this week?
This is probably one of the hardest ones, Stan, that I've done in a while.
Boy.
They're usually pretty easy because they're intended to generate conversation. But I kind of wanted to pick a theme of phishing and spam, and so I wanted to get a little bit, maybe a little, not necessarily technical, but a little bit more where you have to maybe think a little bit. So we're going to kick it off. So this one's probably fairly simple, maybe. In which year was the first documented case of spam email? So, and I'm going to give you some choices. You don't have to come off the cuff. So 1962, 1978, 1983, or 1990. George, any thoughts there?
Let's see. I'm stuck between 83 and 90. I say 83.
Okay. How about you, Stan?
I remember reading about this, but I forgot the year. There was it was a vendor who wanted to reach out to a bunch of people. It was pretty early on. It was very early on in the history of computing. So I'm like either in the 60s or 70s. I'm gonna go with the 70s, I think.
Well, Stan, you successfully answered the number one, which is 1978. And it was just exactly what you said, is that they came out with a new version. I think it was a DEC computer, and he sent a bunch of email to the people. And, at the time, the networks were fairly small, so it wasn't like spamming like thousands of people, but it was, they sent an email to everybody saying, hey, we got this new computer, and so it was 1978.
Wow. That sounds like my weekly team bulletin when we have release notes for a new product we have. So I didn't realize I'm sending spam every few months.
So number two is what is the standards framework used to enhance inter-carrier caller ID identification and will be used to help combat robocalls? So it's a framework used for caller ID. Stan, do you have an idea, or do you remember?
You got me. You got me, John. I wish this one was multiple choice so I could go off with something.
You'll never forget it after today, Stan. How about you, George? Any ideas?
Can I get a clue? Can I buy a clue or something? Can I buy a vowel? I don't know.
Can I ask a friend and I'm not asking Stan?
Yeah.
How about this for a clue? You do it with your cocktail.
I'm actively Googling the answer.
You stir it? You shake?
Hey, purchase half of it. George got half of it.
Handshake? Some kind of handshake? Shake? No.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll get you off the hook. So it's called stir shaking, right? Stir shaking.
Stir shaking. Okay.
James Bond. That would have been a great clue. James Bond. So not to make it. I actually had to write this up because I can't remember what stir and shaken stand for. So stir is secure telephone identity revisited, and shaken is signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens. So basically what it boils down to is this is a mechanism that is used that, when you get caller ID on your phone, typically, or in the past, that caller ID came from your carrier, your local, your actual local carrier. So if, let's say, it went through 3 or 4 carriers to get to you, it's real easy to obfuscate who the originating caller ID is. Very easy. So the number you see on your device may not necessarily be the actual originating caller. And so they come up with this protocol that actually allows the carriers to pass the actual caller ID from carrier to carrier. And for the IP-based networks, the United States is going to implement it as required, I should say, implementation by the end of June of this year. So that means that the numbers you see on your caller ID should be the actual number of the person calling you.
in most cases.
It's going to be
And
a
there's-
welcome reprieve. That's going to be great because I know that everyone has been inundated with the fake caller ID calls. That's great. It's great to hear.
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah. So anyway, so I'll go into the last one. The last one, maybe we'll get that. Maybe we'll get. Maybe this will be easier. So anyway, so you just received a spam text on your cell phone. We've all got those, right? Everybody's gotten a spam. In the United States and actually most countries, there's a short code that you want to report it to, that you send a copy of it to. Do you remember? I think I went spam first. I'll go to George. You remember what that short code is, George?
I could give you a clue on this one, George. It spells the word that you're looking to report.
Oh, okay. So that would be 5, 9, 8. No.
No. You can even give me the word. Just give me the word because that's
Just spam? That's it?
it is spam. Yes.
Ah,
Stan
okay.
knew it. I didn't have to
Thank
ask
you,
Stan.
Stan.
They knew it. So all you have to do is just go to your keyboard. And a lot of people don't know this, but we use it in CTFs all the time. You have a short code, you use the keyboard as the way to enter the letters. So I think it starts with a 7, I'm pretty sure, right? 7?
Yeah.
7726 is what it is.
7726.
Okay.
There it is.
I should know that. That's embarrassing.
But you said it correctly, though, Stan. I remember that. You just remember it's spam and just do SPAM.
Okay. No?
Anyway, good job, guys. And I like to having the conversation. This is, I mean, I'm not trying to stump you, from a knowledge perspective. It's to have these conversations that are things that, that really, we tend to either overlook or we just, think that, hey, this is good knowledge that, we can stick in the back of our head that we can, bring out at the next party and ask somebody else, right?
I think what I like most about this quiz is we really had to think about the method to get to the answer. So maybe I don't know the number, but I know the letters. And it's like an adventure to get to the real answer. Excellent quiz, John, like always. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my first one, and I'll be deathly frightened of the next one. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.